What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. And I want to talk about this situation because it's dear to my heart. And it's not celebrity news, but it is news in the mainstream. And again, certain things that affect black men is dear to my heart. I feel that it's necessary for me to speak about this, and I want to talk about this particular lady, Patricia Ripley. Now, for those people who are not familiar with who she is a lady who has been taken into custody for admitting that she drowned her autistic son, okay? Now, this is a very sad story in itself, but it's not the fact that this atrocious act was committed upon her child, and that's not why we're here today. Because normally I wouldn't report on such a thing because we know we live in a very sadistic and we live in a very sick world, right? And unfortunately, in situations like this, I don't touch on those things, all right? It's just a very, kind of perverted world that we live in, unfortunately. But the way that black men are involved in this was that initially, after planning to do this and premeditating to do this to her own child, she found it upon herself to make up a particular storyline. And the storyline was that her son, Alejandro, had been kidnapped by two robbers that ran her car off the road, okay? And basically, those people who kidnapped her sons were black men. Now, of course, she can't say it was two Hispanic men or two Asian men or something like that, but so then the police go out and then they look, okay? And she even described them, one of the guys having cornrows. She says one of them jumped out with a knife and demanded drugs, and and they just took the child anyway, which is something that obviously black men don't do. But luckily there is security cameras, right, that shows something completely different. And when it didn't make sense, the police had to come back and ask her again, all right? And she had to eventually admit to it, right? And one of the things is this: when you say, and I feel sorry for the people that are close to her, because if you think about it, those people who are close to her, not only is she telling the police this story to save her ass, she's telling her family this. She's telling her friends this. And then she's telling the media this. So people who probably already don't like black people or don't like black men, they're infuriated that black men could do something like this, right? So you have this nationwide hunt or this citywide hunt, and then you have racial tensions being spread out by somebody who's lying on black men, right? And then to come to find out that it's not true. And nobody even says sorry to the African American men that are in Miami that could easily be, hurt or blamed or falsely hurt or physically assaulted because they match a description. And I just want to kind of talk to brothers about this. The reason why people can pick on us is because, number one, the stereotype is out there that we do things like this. Now don't get me wrong, black men, we do have brothers in our community that commit crimes, but stuff like this don't even sound like us, right? It just doesn't even sound like us. Usually brothers that are going to commit crimes, it usually involves some form of disagreement or drugs. Typically this don't happen like a brother just attacks random people. That's not really how we get down, really, for the most part. Nowhere in the country. Most people, if they're committing crime, it's for a reason, just not randomly. Now, it does happen, but not all the time, right? Usually it doesn't. But the reason why people can kind of do this and blame us is because people feel that nobody cares about black men. Nobody cares about black men, right? Black men are the test dummies of the world. You can blame anything on them and anybody would believe it. And you know what? We got to talk about this, because the reason why this is happening is because black men don't care about themselves. I'm gonna say it. This is true. Black men don't care about themselves. They don't. And this is what we need to talk about. Because you don't care, other people will not care. Because see, she could not go to the Asian community and say, 2 Asian guys kidnapped my son. They will not have that. Okay? She cannot say 2 Jewish people did this. They will not have that. Or 2 gays. I'm just to give you an example, right? But because we have no unity as a group, they can do this. They can do this. And I want to beseech you today to understand how much danger you're really in your false successes that you think that you have achieved as an individual. You believe because individually you're a business owner, you believe because individually you're successful, individually you're talented, individually some of you might have been able to travel, you have passports. But if you're a person that happens to have cornrows on that day and you're black, nobody cares about that. You're just another Negro. And if you match a description that's too close to it, you might get gunned down. Because see, somebody from the Hispanic community or her community that saw that and saw one of y'all to match the description, they're not gonna care about, oh, well, he's an attorney, or well, he's not like them. No. It's gonna be a green light situation, right? And the reason why it is because we have no unity on these things. None whatsoever. And this is why black men have to really stand out and stand up about our image in this country. We have to make people pay a severe cost for talking about our image like that. Because see, when somebody says black men did something and they didn't do it, we don't punish people enough to make them stop doing it another time. It's to be drastic consequences from that. But see, you don't have black men working together to try to stop that. This is why a lot of brothers got to start coming together and start forming up coalitions to say, you will not insult African American men like this. No. Because I'm going to tell you what happens right now. When this happens and is blamed, every black man is in danger. Every single one. Every single brother that's in Miami, Florida is in serious danger. Because supposedly you did something to a 9-year-old and the mama did it. But because a lot of brothers do not care enough about their image to get out and protest it or fight it or bring it to the politician's point of view, to make these things a hate crime. Because see, lying on black men should be a sort of a hate crime, should be a racist hate crime. It should be a felony. Just like it would be for talking about gays, something like that. But because we don't lobby it, and we politically don't do it, then we have a problem. Then we have a problem. And that's the issue that we are talking about. You brothers gotta really start being concerned about your image and what people are out there falsifying against you. How many brothers are probably in jail because somebody said they did something? They didn't do it. One brother I saw, he just sung on, I won't say America's Got Talent. And he was in prison for 37 years. 37 years, right? I think the guy's name is Archie Williams. And somebody said he did something that he didn't do, and DNA freed him. How many black men are being accused of stuff that they didn't do, but we don't have the infrastructure to get them brothers free? And I can tell you right now, we don't care. And when you don't care, don't complain about what happens. Because these things happen to brothers who don't care. And we will continue to be walked over as a group. We will continue to be humiliated as a group until you do something about it. So guys, what do you think about this? Go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell. It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson on Celebrity Junk. Go to the first comment pinned to the top. You'll see my email, all of which, and again, as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out. Peace.